praise and glory be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For it's only from Him that we receive our blessings. Allah, there is no God but Him, the living, the self-subsisting, eternal. So, as I spoke earlier, we talked about the decree of etiquette that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us with inside of His book and with inside of the administration of His laws of justice. See, one of the references that I made was to one of the verses that's inside of the Holy Quran. And what the verse says is it says, which of you will deny the day of meeting with your Lord? Literally meaning, which one of you will deny the day of judgment? See, the day of judgment is the day that you pass from this world into that which is coming next. Literally, the day that you die is your day of judgment. That is the day that you will be judged upon those actions that you did here in the world of the dunya. You're called to account right then and there. And it's an accurate account. It's an accurate account. It's not an account that has any discrepancies in it. See, on the day of our birth, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala literally gives us two angels. He puts two angels right next to us. And what these angels' job is to keep a record of everything we do. Everything we do. And it's an accurate record. They don't miss a thing. Which, to those who live a life seeking righteousness, seeking the will of Allah, you know you good. Because they ain't gonna miss it. They ain't gonna miss it. See, they're gonna bring it to account on the day of judgment. What you did and didn't do within that which was prescribed to you by your Creator. You see, Allah calls to account that which He has created so that He may see which of them is the best in action. Which of them is the best in action? See, we look at this world and we think, this is it. This is it. That's all we got. Oh, how gravely are the disbelievers wrong. See, this world is nothing more than a test. This world was only created as a test so that Allah may see which of you are best in action according to the laws of Allah. According to the laws of Allah. See, you often hear me say, I do not answer to the law of man. You often hear me say, I do not bow to the law of man. I'm not under the law of man. I'm not under the local law. I'm under the law of God. I'm under the law of God. And you know what the law of God says? Those who I have administered my instructions to and who follow my way surely have found a stronghold on the straight path to Jannah. Allah tells you, take for yourself that which I have commanded you and stick to it. And on your day of judgment, you already know you going. You already know you going in. You already know you gonna make it to Jannah. Ain't even no debating it. You ain't gotta sit there going through life wondering, where am I gonna go when it's all over? You're gonna go to what you work towards. See, hell is this world right here. It's a human existence living a lie. It's a human existence living a lie. Hell, brother. Hell. You come to this world and you forget the fact that you were created by the all-powerful, almighty, greatest of defenders and greatest of judges. You forget that when you come from your infancy into a stage of adolescence, when you're accounted for your actions. If you forget that you here to serve Allah on your day of judgment, He gonna forget that He was there to help you in the Jannah, to help you in the paradise. See, Allah gonna be like, listen, so what'd you do all them days of your life? Oh man, you know, Allah, man, times were hard, man. You know, I had to get out there and get it how I live. You know, I had a problem with such and such over here. I had to do what I had to do. And then, you know, I was gonna come to you that one time when I had that little situation with what's her name. And as soon as I was about to call you, she called me, and I thought that was a sign. You thought that was a sign? How the hell you think it was a sign for me to you when the first thing you was gonna do is call me? Don't you think I would have sent a sign after you called? Oh, I didn't think about that a lot. You know why you didn't think about it? Because you did not make me your friend, your protector, and your defender in life. So now that you're on trial for your everlasting soul, don't ask me to defend you. Don't ask me to right the things that you had did wrong. Didn't I send you a prophet? What do you mean? What do you mean? You mean Allah? Didn't I send you a messenger? Yeah, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What? So that was the last prophet. So the last prophet was Muhammad. That's who I sent you. Did you get a chance to see Muhammad? No, Lord. Did you study the message of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? I mean, I looked at it a little bit. Oh, okay. So I never sent you another messenger or another prophet that could relate to you in your day and time and who lives in a life that is fixed by your day and time and your customs. I never sent you one. I mean, there was this guy running around. I think his name was Sadiq something or something. Oh, you mean my holy chosen prophet, Sadiq, son of Allah? Is that what you're talking about? The light of Allah? That which Allah has created for himself. He who administered a defilement of death by my will and accord, that one. So I did send him to you. And he did come with a word saying that he came to the world to set the record straight of changing that which is wrong from that which is right. Did he not say that? See, I'm getting a little bit hot right now, brother. So I got to take the shirt off. Pardon, sir. Alhamdulillah. So, that's what I want to know. You're going to ask me. You're going to ask me point blank, period. Did I not send you a warner? Man, I thought Sadiq was bluffing. I mean, a lie. He sell drugs. Lie. He gangbang. Lie. He used to pimp. Lie. He's always with a bunch of women. Lie. How is that your messenger? How is it not? Is that not the world you live in? Does he not represent that world which you live in full regulation of that which you perceive from right from wrong? I guess so. Well, let me ask you a question. Did you sell drugs? I mean, you know, a lot. Did you sell drugs? I mean, at one point in time, you know, did you sell drugs? I mean, yeah. Okay, how do you want me to judge you for that? I did what I had to do. No, you didn't. You did what I had already instructed ahead of time, that if you do it for my glory, that they cannot ever say that you was doing something wrong. Did you ever force it upon anybody? Did you ever force somebody to use your product? No. That's not how it works. They call me. And, we would do what we do. So they chose what they were going to do. And all you did was provide them that which came from my earth so that they could do it. So you were like a farmer or something, right? I don't grow it. So it was like a farmer's market, right? I guess so. How do you want me to look at it? Do you want me to look at it like you did something wrong? Or do you want me to look at it according to the way that I wrote it in the book? Allah, you know best. So I'm going to look at it how I put it in the book. Go into the world and see the things that I have provided for you for both your enjoyment and substance. And do not forget the day of the meeting of your master. So you go into the world and you see. You go into the world and you see. You go into the world and you see that which Allah has given you. That's what you do. And see that all Allah has given you is good. See, that's a paraphrase. It says go into the world and see the favors of Allah, or go into the world and see the different things that Allah has brought to you, right? And then there's another ayat where he literally says, you know what I'm saying, don't forget the day of your meeting with your master. I'm taking the two and I'm bringing them together so that I can show you the completeness of that message. So I can show you that that which Allah spoke upon is true. That I can show you that that which Allah has called you to is true. You brothers, sisters, you will be called to judgment on the day of your death. On the day of your death, you will be brought to account on that very day. On that very day, you will be called on account of that which you did in this life. Was your life for the service of Allah, or was your life for the service of yourself? See, if your life was for the service of yourself, I'm going to tell you what, you better hope to God that yourself can get you into Jannah. You better hope to God that you have a proper defense to get yourself in Jannah. Because Allah gonna say, so what he gonna hit you with that Janet Jackson line. What have you done for me lately? What have you done for me lately? Well, see, Allah, remember when what? Let me ask the question again. What have you done for me lately? You maybe didn't hear the question. Well, Allah what? Well, Allah what? What do you want from me that you didn't give me? What do you want from me that you didn't give me? Can I get 10 more minutes and I'll do it right this time? Can you get 10 more minutes and I'll do it right this time? Did you not know from the day of your birth that your clock was already running? Did you not know from the day of your birth that your clock was already running, and that Allah had called you and said to you, from this day forward, you are walking in a path that will lead to the end, and I will judge you. I will judge you according to the laws, the rules, and the regulations of my administration that I have set down for you, written in the book. The Quran, the Bible. See, these are where you find the instructions and the etiquettes and the decrees of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These are where you find that which will legitimize or legalize your actions in the court of law of universal justice in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. See, the only thing special about a prophet is that they have already been imbued with the great spirit of Allah's clarity and knowledge, and they have already visited that which you are going to face on the day of judgment. That's it. That is it. Zip, zero, checkmate. Only difference. I'm a man. I am a man. I am a man. I can't walk on water to the best of my ability. I don't know. I ain't tried it yet. But I can't walk on water. I can't walk through walls. I can only do that which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives me the power to do. I'm one of you. I am one of you. But I am a full reflection of the glory of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala standing in your face. So you know what that means? I am the reflection of the God that exists both inside of you and in the universe. You see me, you see him. You see me, you see him. Because I do the will of he who has sent. I do the will of he who has sent. And you know how you do it? You study, brother. See, if you catch a charge and you go to jail, one of the things I know from spending all my time in jail, from all the time I've been in jail, that brothers catch a case and they stop looking in the law library. They trying to find every loophole, in and out, excuse, and everything else they can come up with. Everything else. Everything else they can come up with. Why don't you do that in life? Why don't you do that in life? See, if you in life do that which you are going to have to do on the day of judgment, you'll have a defense. You'll have a perfect defense. You'll have a clear defense. See, that defense will bring you the regulation of truth. That defense will bring you the regulation of truth. Pot of self, brothers. Are those hornets or bees? Are those hornets or bees? All right, listen. Do you have regular vinegar in the house? Huh? Buy some vinegar. You take some vinegar, put a little bit of mustard in the water. A little mustard, regular mustard that you use for your sandwiches. Put a little bit of mustard in the water, right? And spray the areas where they're around. The smell of the vinegar is offensive to their senses. It'll start to make them where they get dizzy and stuff like that. They won't group there anymore. You don't have to worry about killing them. They'll just move it somewhere else. Alhamdulillah, that brother. So we're called to account in our life on a daily basis to the judgment of the day of our death. To our judgment on the day of our death. See, what will happen on the day of our death is there will be an account of everything we did that led up to the day of death. So if you catch a case in the court of law of man, you're gonna go get the law books. You're gonna go get a lawyer. You're gonna get a defense. Your defense in life against the judgment of Allah at your death is to grab a Quran or grab a Bible and learn the decrees and the etiquettes of that which your Lord has instructed you to do in this life so that you know you're gonna make it to paradise in the next life. He's not asking for a lot. He's not asking for a lot. He's asking you to take accountability for your free will. He's asking you to take accountability for yourself. He's asking you to take accountability for your everlasting life in paradise. In paradise. He says, learn me, come to know me, befriend me, take me as your protector. And on the day when you need the most protection, I will be with you as I was when you were amongst the living. I will be with you as I was amongst the living. See, nobody knows when the day of the meeting of their master will be. Jesus told you to come like a thief in the night. Jesus told you, peace and blessings be upon the prophet, that it will come like a thief in the night and you do not want to be caught unawares. Think of how many people you know that you was just with them a day or so before the day that they passed, or even a few minutes before the day that they passed. You see in life the illustration of how swiftly your judgment comes upon you by looking at how swiftly the judgment came upon those that were already in existence around you that have left already to their judgment. See, Allah gives us examples of everything about himself in the nature of that which he created. Do you think that you can prepare yourself for a natural occurrence or a natural disaster that just happens? No. There's not no preparation for that which just happens. See, that is the illustration that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes with us of the day of judgment. It would be easier for a camel to travel through the eye of a needle than it would for a rich man to enter into the gates of heaven. Now, I'm going to show you that that statement was not about just somebody who is imbued with an excess of material things. No. There's a deeper enlightenment to that. And I'm going to share with you what that deeper sense of enlightenment is. See, it would be easier for a camel to travel through the eye of a needle than it ever would for a rich man to make it into heaven. You know why that is? Because the average person in life that starts achieving the things in life that he wanted, he starts becoming financially successful. He starts becoming financially independent. He starts becoming financially secure. You know what starts happening? He starts believing that his security and his finances was given to him by his own hands and his own actions, and he never brings into account the fact that God gave him those things in this life to test him, to see if even in his success, he would still put God first. Even in his success, he would still put God first. And that's why he said that it would be easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than a rich man to enter into heaven. He's literally telling you. There's so many things in this world that will distract you from me, that on the day of judgment, when you have no distractions, I'm gonna ask you, which of the things that I gave you do you believe are gonna save you from my judgment? And it's only gonna be two answers you're ever gonna be able to make. The first answer is, I have the message of the prophets. I have the message of the prophets. Sallallahu alayhi wasallam. The message of the prophets. I have an example through the prophets. And the second thing you're gonna be able to say is this: through the glory and the grace of your almighty creator, he gave you books. He gave you the Bible. He gave you the Quran. He gave you the Torah. He gave you the book of enlightenment. You see that? These are your defenses against the day of judgment. The defenses on the day of judgment are to search for your Lord in the days that you have left. Because I'm going to tell you right this. I'm going to tell you point blank period. Literally. You don't know if 5 minutes from now, you're going to walk across the street and get hit by a car. You're going to fall down the stairs, have a heart attack. You don't know what the next 5 minutes will bring. So do you know what that means in the reality of life? If you haven't started calling on your Lord right now and start coming to know him before the day of judgment, you're already 4 minutes too late. You're already 4 minutes too late. You only had 5 minutes. And you spent 4 of them debating on whether or not in that last minute you were going to meet your God. I'm here to tell you as a living proof of the reality. I faced my Lord and was judged by my Lord on the day of my death, and he returned me. I did not know it was coming. I didn't know that when I got up that morning, I was going to have to go tell somebody that they were going to have to call the hospital because I'm having chest pains, and that literally when I rode to the hospital, got to the hospital, I was dead. 4 hours. 4 hours. And left the doctors mind boggled how for 4 hours a man cannot have a heartbeat, but he's talking to you. I'm gonna tell you how it's possible. Because that which is impossible to man is just the smallest of possibilities of that which is able to be done by the Lord. See, man's limited understanding of what he can and cannot do is lost in his ability to be able to have enough faith in God to know the fact at the end of the day, listen, where I stop, God stops. Do you see what I'm saying? Where I stop, God stops. On those days when I'm working, on them days when I'm working at my job, and I'm having a hard day, and I know I'm tired. Maybe the night before I didn't get enough sleep. Maybe the night before I was up studying. And I know on that day that I can't keep making it. What gets me through that day is calling on the power of the Lord and saying, God, get me through this. See, the Lord stops where your strength stops. So what is possible to you doesn't even touch that which is possible to your Lord. So again, I'm gonna restate the question that I had already asked. Which of you, literally meaning, which of the living creatures on the planet Earth or any creature in the universe can deny the day that they will have to meet their master, the day that they will have to meet their maker, the day that they will be faced with the judgment of the things that they had set before them? See, your record is preserved by the two angels that stand next to you every day, writing down every action that you do, from your minor thoughts. And it's not just the actions. It's not just the actions of the things that you do. It's every thought, every intention. All that goes in the book. All that goes into the book. How do you preserve your record so that it's deemed as righteousness on the day of judgment? You must spend every day building up your defense. See, they're making a case against you. They're making a case against you. Who's making a case today? The angels. The angels are making a case against you. Whether the case becomes in your favor or it becomes not. They're taking a record of everything. They're compiling the evidence. They're compiling the proof. They're compiling the truth. They're going to get it down, and they're going to say to you on the day of judgment, when Allah calls you forth, they are going to say, my Lord, this is the record of such and such, for you to see and for you to judge them as to whether or not they were considered righteous or not. See, if you want to be found righteous in the eyes of the Lord, I'm going to tell you right now, there is a 99.9% possibility that you won't be found righteous in the eyes of man. Maybe those who know the Lord, maybe those who know the Lord, and maybe those that know Allah's laws will find you righteous. But to a regular person, they're not going to find you righteous in the laws of God. They're going to try to judge you according to the laws of man. So in their eyes, you're never going to find right. You cannot find righteousness in the eyes of the unrighteous. You cannot find an opinion or a judgment of being one of the righteous in the eyes of those who are subdued to unrighteousness. You stand a better chance of being able to jump out of a 50-story building and floating all the way down. So, again, I'm going to ask you this. Which of you will deny the day of the meeting of your Lord? The day when Allah calls you to judgment. You can't deny it, brother. Because it's constantly always in front of you. You're constantly always facing the day of judgment. because you don't know if you're going to be here from one moment to the next. So prepare your defense now. Come to know your Lord. Come to study his law. Listen to the message that he has given me to bring to you so I can clarify the etiquettes that's already written in the Quran, so I can identify for you that which makes it easier for you to live a life of the Lord. See, I'm not doing none of this for my benefit. You guys have to understand that. I gain nothing by being the prophet. I gain nothing. What do I gain by bringing you the message of the ever-living Creator? What do I gain? See, I already have what I've gained. I already have what I've gained. I've gained a communication and a relationship with my Creator. That was the only thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed me with in becoming a prophet. Everything else, the knowledge that I have, the etiquettes that I bring, all that ain't for me. I'm already living according to the way that Allah designed me to live, and on my day of judgment, he judged me accordingly, and he sent me back. How you doing, my brother? So, at the end of the day, I gain nothing by being the prophet. What, a bunch of people looking at me all the time trying to see whether or not I'm going to do the right thing or the wrong thing? Well, I always know I'm going to do the right thing because I'm moving in a way that Allah wants me to move, so I can't do wrong. They might not understand the things I do, but I'm going to tell you what, they probably didn't understand. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to say probably. I know they didn't understand the things that Jesus did. I know when Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam came, they didn't understand what he did. I know that when Moses was sent to the Egyptians, they dang sure didn't understand what he was doing. They was trying to come up with every excuse why they wasn't going to let the Israelites go. God had to whoop their butt 7 days in a row, 7 different ways for them to finally say enough is enough. This man got something with him that we can't mess with. Get these Israelites and get this man the hell out of this land before he takes everything with him. It took you losing the life of your firstborn children before you were willing to accept the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the justifier and the adjudicator of all things that you do in this life. See, Allah is not going to tell you something that is not true. Allah is not going to give you a command to do something that when you do it, it's going to be held against you on the day of judgment as what you like to call sin. That's not how Allah instructs you. Allah doesn't say, yo, watch this, right? We're going to tell this dude to do this, 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 and this. And then on the day of judgment, when he comes before us and says, well, Allah, you told me to do it. I'm going to be like, no, I didn't. No. Allah has a sense of humor, but he does not have a sense of humor when it comes to the preservation of your everlasting soul. That's where his sense of humor stops. Because he does not find it funny when that which he has created to honor and obey him, when it goes against him. Do you find it funny when you tell your children to do something and they give you a finger and say, listen, I'm going to do what I want to do because that's why God gave me 2 legs, so I can move how I want to move? No. If you grew up anything like me, you're going to beat the black off them. And if they ain't black, you're going to beat some black into them. Either way, you know that the color of their ass is about to change after that statement. Because you're going to hold them accountable for the disrespect of that which you gave them through the glory of Allah when you brought them into this world. How many people heard the saying when they were young? Because I know I heard it all the time. I brought you into this world, I'll take you out. What you think God's telling you? What do you think God tells you every day when you wake up? I brought you into this world, I'll take you out. Play with me. You want to keep going against my word? You want to keep acting like I'm not the judge? You want to keep acting like you got more power than me? Let's test this theory. Let's test it. Are you willing to bet your everlasting soul against that? Are you willing to bet your life that you can beat me? See, that's what God's asking you. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to tell you as a prophet of one who can see the things that are unseen, bro, you don't want to take that bet. You do not want to take that bet. You might as well fold your cards right now and say, you know what? I consent. I consent to the submission of Allah, and I will serve him, and I'm going to learn about him. I'm going to learn my defense for my day of judgment. I'm going to learn the book, and I'm going to learn the ways of the prophets, so that on the day of judgment, when God asks for your record out of the hands of the angels, you are also going to be able to have a defense. Because see, Allah is going to ask you these questions. The first thing Allah is going to ask you is, who is your God? Allah is going to ask you, who is your God? And there's only one answer. La ilaha illallah. That my God is God, and he is only one God. See, there is only one God, people. I don't care if you're a Jehovah's Witness. I don't care if you're a Jew. I don't care if you're Muslim. I don't care if you're Christian. I don't care if you're a Protestant. I don't care what your religious title is that you place upon yourself. There's only one God. And he constantly is going to lead you to the path of righteousness if you follow him. He is going to instruct you in the best way to gain the most out of life. See, God didn't create us here to suffer. He didn't put us on this earth to suffer. He didn't put us on this earth to go through life miserable. He didn't put us on this earth so we can't enjoy ourselves. He didn't put us on this earth so we have to constantly walk around with our heads down like we don't notice a beautiful woman or an attractive man. No. That's not what he wanted. He wanted you to refrain yourself in the sustenance of his will and his knowledge so that you could act accordingly in those situations in a way that would best defend his glory. What do I always say? I seek the protection of Allah in all I do so that it may be for that which brings him glory. I'm not trying to glorify myself, brother. I don't want the fame. I don't want the glory. My glory comes from doing that which my Creator has sent me to do and feeling the blessings and the pleasures that he gives me to enjoy in this life. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. All praise and glory be given to Allah our God. So when I say that I came to give etiquette and direct you in the law, I'm not changing anything. I'm not changing anything. I'm going to the book of instruction and I'm clarifying for you that which was already set there for you so that you can take yourself back to an original state of your relationship between you and your Creator and understanding the commandments that he has laid upon you so that you can do what you need to do in this life to get you to the next. So that you can do what you need to do in this life so he can get you to the next. See, before you go do whatever it is that you're gonna go do, seek the protection of Allah. Seek the protection of God. Because I'm gonna tell you what, if you don't do it, when a situation goes bad, you're gonna be seeking God's help. You're gonna be like, God help me. I can't believe this happened. Oh my God, I hope they don't find this. Oh my God, I hope this doesn't happen. Oh my God, I hope. Why are you calling on him now? Why are you bringing God into remembrance now? That shit hit the fan. If you didn't bring him into remembrance before shit got serious. Don't do that. Don't do that. Do not call upon your Lord in a time of need and believe that it's okay if you have not gave him glory in a time of blessing. What's a time of blessing? A time of blessing is any time of day, any time of moment, any day of the week, any week of the month, any month of the year that you're not underground. Those are the times of blessing. All praise be to Allah for the times that I go through struggle and for the times that he has given me ease. For I know that it is through those times that he has drawn me closer to the understanding of my Creator. You see? Allah brings you close to him through the things that you go through in life. He puts you on this earth so that you would come to know him on the terms of living his will out. Why do you think we're here? See, this is quality control in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is where Allah tests the quality of your character according to your actions in this world to determine whether or not you're going to act right when you get to paradise. See, what he wants to know is, if I put you in an imperfect world and you can seek perfection, I know if I put you in a perfect world, you're not going to destroy it. We're not going to make the same mistake we already did when we tried this the first time. See, this is Quality control. Quality control, baby. And what is going to be the answer for your creator as to the quality of your soul on the day of judgment? I'm going to use one of my favorite sayings. One of my favorite sayings. Get caught slipping and don't get mad when you end up dripping. Get it? You get what that means? In the streets, everybody understand what that means. Don't let me catch you lacking and you know me and you got a problem, bro, because I'm going to send something through you, bro, that's going to have you leaking. Put it point blank and easy. Put it point blank and easy. See, you got to forget, I keep it 100 to what I come from and what I am. I really am still that person that if something happens and I feel it's unjust, I will call upon the Lord, I will go to the Quran, I will see it out of the Quran, I will Lord give me the ability to deal with it, and I'm going to deal with it in that fashion. And if it says in the Quran, I can spank that ass, damn right I'm going to do it. But you don't want to get caught lacking in the judgment of your Lord. You don't want to be called to your Lord and he tell you, oh, I caught you slipping. That's your ass off. See, you gotta remember, Allah has a sense of humor. He gonna call you to account for what's real. See, if you ever think that Allah don't act like we act in certain images of ourselves, you think you gangster? You ain't seen a gangster like God, bro. See, God is the Godfather for real. He really will make your ass an offer that your butt refuse. You know what that offer is? Serve me or die. He's point blank period about it. He don't put no extras on it. He doesn't say, well, you know what? Serve me on Sunday and you're good from Monday to Saturday. Don't even worry about it. I don't even worry about it. I'm not even tripping. No. He says, submit yourself to me in completion. So that I may be able to call you as one of mine. See, you get called as one of Allah's. You get called as one of God. Who can ever call you away from the call of God? None can call you away from his protection. None can call you away from his administration. None can call you away from his judgment. None can call you away from his blessings. For he is that which gives covering to all things. Who do you think put the canopy in the sky? If God can cover the earth, what would ever make you believe that he cannot cover you? What would ever make you believe that when you give your life to God, that God's not saying, I got you covered. Don't even worry about it. Just stick with me. Stick with me. And if you fall short, make a mistake, make a couple extra dollars on that bill, got you covered. Just remember me. Call out to me and express that need for me. And I'll grant you forgiveness. Every question you pick up with. I'll give you a couple extra dollars. That's what I'll tell you. I'll give you a couple extra dollars for the takes to buy your way into heaven. Because all you have to do to buy your way into heaven is to buy your way through this. See, this is what nobody understands about the term of buy your way into heaven. See, money has no value in heaven. God does not care about money, brother. He does not care about money. That's why God said that it would be easier for a camel to travel through the eye of a needle than it would for a rich man to enter into the gates of heaven. See, God's telling you, you can't buy your way into heaven with money. No. You know how you buy your way into heaven? You buy your way into heaven, which is the next life, by selling your soul to God in this one. By serving him to such a degree in this life that on the day of judgment, when you are brought before him and the receipt is laid out before you, God's going to look at the book and say, oh, him? I remember him. Oh, his bill's paid. Don't worry about that. He good. What do he owe? How much he owe us? Oh, he owes us 5,000 salats that he missed throughout the course of life. He owes us 5,000 prayers that he missed during the course of life. That's what he's short. Give him 10,000 prayers. Give him 10,000 prayers. Now he's 5,000 ahead. Now he's 5,000 ahead. See, that's what God's telling you. God is telling you to submit your soul to me as a slave in the world that enslaves you Free yourself from the slavery of this world, from your attachment to the material things in this world. Let yourself go of that and gain a stronghold within my teachings, within the administration of my law. Come to know me. See, Allah tells you, I sent you a prophet amongst you that was one of your own so that you could identify in him the things about yourself that you need to be able to instruct yourself against. See, I can't set the record straight. I always say that. So many people constantly judge me for the things that I do that they say is wrong, that I really want somebody to just openly come and say to me, Sadiq, why did you do this? Sadiq, why do you do that? Sadiq, why do you do that? That's wrong. That's haram. So that I can be like, that's haram? That's wrong? So what is the judge between you and I? What is the judge between you and I? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, so what is the book of judgment between you and I? The Holy Quran or the Bible, okay? So you go grab me a Holy Quran and I want you to grab me a Bible. I'm gonna give you two defenses against me. I want you to state your accusations of the things that I do that you say are haram and bring those books to me so that we can take account of my actions. And if I am wrong, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala judge me accordingly. But if I am right, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you the insight to see that which you should do so that you don't end up on the wrong side of judgment. And they're going to bring me the Quran, and I'm going to show you in the Quran where everything I do is according to the way that Allah prescribed it. Whether we're talking about whether we're talking about marriage, whether we're talking about how you gain your financial stability, whether we're talking about the fact of regular relationships, whether we're talking about friendships, whether we're talking about the fact of how I talk. I know people be like, man, he a prophet, but he be sitting there cursing and stuff. Brother, let me tell you something. A word is a word that's a word that was invented. If nobody ever told you that the F-bomb was a bad word, and your kid's in the house one day and he says the F-bomb, you're not going to classify it as a bad word. You're going to look at it like he says something else. What makes it a bad word? What really makes it a bad word? What makes it a derogatory statement to drop an F-bomb? I'm gonna tell you what makes it a derogatory statement. Because the intention of the people that say it are saying it with the intention for it to be offensive. They're saying it with the intention for it to be offensive. That which you intend to offend will most likely offend somebody. If I walk up to somebody on the street and I say, you know what? You're a dog. You just a straight dog. They could take it in a bad sense. They could say that I'm literally calling them a pedigree. But if I say to somebody else from a different walk of life, oh, bro, you know you a dog. He gonna be like, bro, ain't I though? Ain't I though? You know that in me, bro. You know I'm a dog. You see? What makes something a derogatory statement is the intention of the way it was said in alignment to the way it was received. How do you judge? Do you judge according to that which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us? Or do you judge according to that which the world has said to you is what you should use for your judgment? See, you don't want somebody to judge you according to the laws of the world. Because you're going to fail every time in the day of judgment. You're going to fail every time on the day of judgment. Because this world is filled with so much crookedness, so much deception, so many lies, so many wrong ways of looking at things that by the time you figure out the right way to do something, you're going to be out of time. You're going to be out of time. You're already going to be on your judgment. See, Allah tells us that if we want to be called to account for what we are doing in this life, that we must be called to account in that which we do based upon His knowledge. Seek your Creator in this life so that in the time of judgment, you will find that He will be there to to defend you and to protect you. How you doing, my brother? I'm good, brother.
You smoke weed?
I do here and there, yes.
It's your car?
Nah, that's my neighbor's car. My car's out back. But I'm in the middle of doing a ministry right now, brother.
You doing a ministry?
Huh?
You doing a ministry?
Do I want to action?
No, you doing a ministry?
Yes, I'm doing my ministry. Yeah.
Love you, brother.
I love you too, my brother. So,
You don't smoke weed over there?
I don't know. You can ask them.
Okay.
The Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, instructed us of one thing. He gave one prohibition to what we can do and what we can't do. See, the prohibition when he said intoxicants was liquor and alcohol. See, that is the prohibition. The prohibition is that we do not utilize alcohol because it fogs your senses from the feelings that Allah can give you. I've never heard of somebody being a weedaholic. I've never even, I'm going to throw this out there because you've even heard me mention about the cocaine thing and the dope thing and stuff like that. Allah has set the fact that the restraints that you should put upon yourself and the things that you indulge in. Because anything that can be a good thing can be a bad thing if you do too much of it. The fact that my car goes 170 miles per hour is a good thing if I need to get somewhere fast. But it's a bad thing if I'm doing it all the time and it's stupidity. You know why it's a bad thing? Because if you're speeding all the time, you ain't ever gonna be able to stop on time when you shouldn't have been speeding. Don't go through life rushing to get away from Allah. Use this life to draw closer to that who you will have to meet at the end of this life, so that you may know that by which he calls you account, clearly rectified and adjudicated in truth. That it will be clearly rectified and adjudicated in truth, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has called you to himself. He's telling you, you don't know what the next moment will bring. You don't know if you are gonna die in the next 30 seconds. So if all you have left is 30 seconds to live, if I was you, I would spend 29 of them trying to get right with God. See, God has brought this message to you so that he can tell you what he needs you to hear. But he also has you hear this message. He also has you hear this message for one of the greatest reasons. So that on the day of judgment, and he asks you, were you warned of what I am going to expect of you? You can't be like, no, I wasn't. Oh, so you didn't hear the message today that the Prophet Sadiq was talking about such and such and such. You didn't hear the ministry on when Prophet Sadiq was saying such and such. How didn't you? Through the glory and the grace of me, I passed the word through channels that you couldn't even understand, and you knew it was a miracle. How didn't you? You didn't take heed to what I was telling you. You didn't take heed to the fact that there was a miracle sitting right in front of you, just in something so simple as how you receive the word. But you take that as a joke. So take this day as a joke. When I sentence you to an eternal life in the fiery pit of Gehenna. To the fiery pit of Gehenna. But then you will burn. That's what I call it, judgment. There are some of those that will be sent to Gehenna that will be purified. Some people that don't make it immediately go to paradise, they will only spend a small amount of time in Gehenna. And then God will call them back to judge you again. And you can see if they have been purified by that which they have been. See, I'm going to tell you about that. I'm trying to show you a way where you can skip that whole process. I'm trying to show you a way where you literally understand that the only hell you ever have to live is this one right here. Remember, I told you the definition of hell. Hell is a human existence living a life. If you exist in this world, living a life, believing the fact that you're not going to meet your maker at the end of this life, you're in hell. If you believe the fact that the things that happen in this world happen merely by chance and not by the instruction of Allah, you're living in hell. If you life without recognizing Allah, without bringing Allah into your life, without serving him on a daily basis and seeing the glory that he brings you, you're living in hell. I came to free you from hell so that you don't get judged to an eternity in your heaven. Take this message to heart. Take this message and heed it and administer the instructions that I have given you in the form of lectures of how to draw close to your Lord, how to think God, no best friend. Learn his law that he has set for you, so on the day of judgment, you have it defended. Alhamdulillah. MashaAllah. By Allah's will. And this is where we're going to end for today. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Malik Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim. Ameen. Allah, may you grant your blessing, your protection, and your understanding upon those who seek you. May this message fully surface itself inside the hearts of those who listen, for those who want to take you as their protector, and those who want to call you their Lord. May they call to you and may you hear them. May you grant them the ability to live in this world in a way that will guarantee them a passage to the paradise. For we know that it is you who are the judge of all, and it is to you that we submit. Amen. Allahu Akbar. Takbir. Allahu Akbar. Takbir. Allahu Akbar.